What's going on, guys? My name's Rob, and welcome back to Above the Six Watch Reviews. So today I'm going to be walking you guys through my unboxing experience with the Addiesdive AD2548. So this is their brand new or fairly new GMT watch with a quartz movement. And let's get into it without wasting any time. So as you can see, guys, we've got the typical Addiesdive box here. So it's got the hard shell outer, black with a little bit of that amazing Addiesdive branding. Maybe let me know in the comments, guys. I don't know if I'm asking for too much, but is it possible that we can get a little bit better packaging from some of these AliExpress brands? I know this is a budget brand, and Addiesdive is definitely on the lower end side of cost for AliExpress brands, but I'd love to see them try a little bit harder and come up with something a little bit more original and innovative when it comes to the packaging. But like I said, maybe I'm just asking too much. You guys can roast me in the comment section and let me know. But let's get into it, and we'll get this thing open if I can. Nice snap to it. I think the one good thing about this packaging is obviously it's great for protecting the watch during transport. And this watch took a little bit over 2 weeks to get to me from China to Toronto. So we'll go ahead and we'll open it up. And there we go. We've got the watch in the trusty Ziploc container. So I'll take that out, move this to the side, and we can take a look at what's come with it. So we've got our Addiesdive warranty card. So as you guys can see, in usual AliExpress fashion, it is not signed or dated. But there you go. You've got their lovely logo that I think we all wish they would absolutely get rid of. And then we've got a fairly thick and robust user manual here as well. So I guess maybe with it being a GMT complication or GMT function here, guys, they've gone ahead and been pretty thorough in terms of how to use and how to operate that function. I'm actually really excited to test this watch out and get it on for a couple of weeks because it's my first GMT watch, and you know I'm hoping that it's going to be something that I'm going to see a lot of use and a lot of value in. And then it also comes with this adjustment tool as well. So you can pop out the pins and adjust it. So fairly straightforward. And then obviously, you guys know this, we've got our foam insert here. So again, great for protecting the watch during transport. So I guess overall it does its job without anything added there. So we'll get the watch out of the bag. So there it is. Wow, look at that dial. So that is a dial color that I would not typically go for too often, but yeah, very bright for a colorway. So on the watch, it came with the Addiesdive tag as well. So there you go. And then I've removed 4 links from this watch to be able to fit my 6 3/4 inch wrist. So while I'm getting my gloves on here, guys, I think we'll walk through some of the specifications. So again, the Addiesdive AD2548. So it is a GMT quartz movement. So I've seen a lot of GMT automatic movements recently, but haven't seen a lot of quartz movement. So I was actually really excited to come across this watch and get my hands on it. So it uses the Swiss Ronda 515 24H movement, which is, I guess, the Ronda GMT movement. And then we've got full 316L stainless steel. We've got a combination of what looks to be both polishing and brushing on the watch itself. We've got a screw-in crown, which is great. And then from a measurement standpoint, we're looking at a case diameter of 38 millimeters, which is my absolute sweet spot. So I think it should wear fairly well. We've got a total lug to lug of 46.7 millimeters. So nice and compact from a lug to lug standpoint, which again should help with that overall wearing experience. And then we've got an overall case thickness of 12.5 millimeters, which again, having a quartz movement is going to be very helpful in terms of keeping that thickness down under that magical 13 millimeter mark. On the strap, from a bandwidth standpoint, from width standpoint, we're looking at 20 mil. And then it looks like it's got, fairly significant taper down to the clasp. So that looks to me, and I'll measure it in my full review and get my own measurements, but that does look to be a 16 mil taper down to the clasp, which is great. And then overall weight, we're looking at 132 grams, which is pretty good, I think, overall. And then on the loom side, I know a lot of you guys are big on loom. I'm not, but it is rocking with the BGW9 Super Luminova. So awesome. So let's take a little bit of a closer look at the watch quickly. Obviously, the first thing we notice right off the bat, guys, is that dial. So again, very common nowadays that, manufacturers are going for those, whether it's a stone look, a meteorite look, very, very flashy type of colorways. This does come in 3 different colorways. So it's got this, I guess, turquoise. My youngest daughter calls it turquoise. I thought it was a little bit more of a teal type of color. And then we've got really bright orange and a black as well. So if it was me and typically I would go for the black, but I just felt for this type of watch, it looked like very much like a summer type of watch. And I think either the orange or the turquoise teal color that I've got in hand was going to be a great fit. So we've got, it looks, on first look, it's a little bit shinier or like almost glittery than what you see in the photos online, which I don't know. I'm not quite sure how I feel about that type of shine on the dial. The color I don't mind, but the shine, I'm not sure if I'm going to be a big fan of that. I am a fan of the fact that they've got their Addiesdive logo, just the name written in cursive on the top there, and then we've got GMT and wow, 200 meters water resistant. Good on Addiesdive. Getting a 200 meter water resistance at this type of budget level watch. The indices look good, guys. So it looks like we have a little bit of polish there on the indices, which is awesome. Yeah, we've got a chapter ring with the minutes there. And then we've got a border right around the date window as well. And then obviously we've got that bezel, which looks I would think stainless steel as well, with the 24-hour marking for the GMT function. So yeah, great dial overall, and I'm loving this case as well. So it's interesting, and I'll try and show you guys here. So on the case itself, on the lugs, we've got almost it looks like a chamfered edge here, and then on the inner side, we've almost got like an angle, not quite a 45-degree angle there, but really cool feature that I think just adds a little bit of dimension to the actual case structure. Very nice. I like that a lot. Again, little details, and I've owned Addiesdives in the past as well, guys, and I think their dials and their cases have really been the star of the show for many of the watches that I've owned. We've got the crown guards here on the side as well. So again, they don't protrude too much here, and I think they do a good job of just kind of protecting that crown. But yeah, overall, Very nice. I don't know how they're doing it, guys, for this price. So I paid, so I got it just before the June sale. So this is going back a few weeks. But I got this watch. It was still on sale, just not as good a sale as the June sale. It was on sale for $82 Canadian, which is unbelievable. So my subscribers and friends in the US and the UK, you guys are getting an absolute cracker of a deal for this watch. Right now on the Addiesdive flagship store, it's on for 127 Canadian, which I'll be honest, still isn't a bad price for what seems to be a great watch. You're getting a quartz GMT with 200 meters water resistance for $127 Canadian, which to me that screams a very good deal. Wow. So the one thing I noticed about my previous Addies dives was when it came to the bracelets, there were some rougher kind of, I don't know if I would call them sharp edges, but definitely a little bit of a rougher edge. But just feeling this, the bracelet on this watch specifically, guys, there are no rough edges whatsoever. They've done a bang-in job in terms of making sure that they've polished any rough edges out. And this is, again, for $82 or even 127. This is great finishing. We've got kind of our standard oyster type link bracelet. We've seen it a million times with Addiesdive watches, but yeah, they've done an awesome job finishing on the bracelet itself. We've got fully milled clasp, and again, we've got that Addiesdive logo that we all love so much there. Yeah, we've got 4 micro adjusts. So again, no on the fly adjustment, but we do have 4 micro adjusts there. So it should be fairly simple to get a good fit. So I just want to look a little bit at the clasp itself. So we'll feel around. Yeah, no sharp edges, which is great. A little bit of polishing there also. No sharp edges. Awesome. I don't know if I got lucky or they were on point when it came to their QC, but bang up job on the finishing for the bracelet and the clasp. Then we've got screw down case back, so obviously contributing to the 200 meters of water resistance. And then we've got the Addiesdive absolutely disgusting logo that's on the back there. So the one thing I did notice with my previous Addiesdive, and I'll feel for this one, yeah, I don't know if you guys can hear that, but you can hear my glove literally scratching against that engraving, and that's definitely going to feel rough on the skin. This is something I don't know what Addiesdive can do, but they need to figure that out because it definitely takes away from the wearing experience. That was probably my biggest pet peeve previously with the other Addiesdive that I owned. But we'll see how it wears. Just a little bit disappointing that, either they didn't catch it or I don't know if they're looking for that from a QC standpoint, if that's what they want. But yeah, not great. Great shape to the case if we look at the side profile there. Awesome. And we've got a signed screw down crown as well. Wow. Again, I mean, I don't know. They have no business putting together this type of watch, in my opinion, for $82. And again, when my last video when I talked about kind of the reason for starting the channel, guys, it's really to highlight what type of value we can get right now in these affordable watches. And for $82, I don't know what's competing with this type of watch. But we still have to live with it for probably about the better part of 2 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks. And I'm going to put it through its paces and see if after the end of the 2 weeks, if I really like the watch, I'll go ahead and put up a full review. Stay tuned. I will have my full review for the San Martin SN0144CG7 coming up, hopefully in the next couple of days, guys. So stay tuned for that. As always, appreciate you guys for subscribing. Obviously, I can't really have this channel without you guys watching. So very much appreciated. If you like what you see, a like goes a long way, a share goes a long way, and obviously subscribe to keep up to date with my latest content. But overall, we're off to a good start with this Addiesdive, and very excited to see what it's going to be like with it for a couple of weeks. So until the next video, guys, I appreciate you watching, and take care. We'll see you on the next one.